Hi, it's Nydia Darby with Nydia's Yoga Therapy Studio. I just wanted to share a little bit about how um, I met Esther Vexler, our wonderful friend, mentor. I keep her photograph with me. Actually, not just a photograph, I have several photographs of dear Esther. This is an image when she was teaching at my studio. Um, what's her story? I met Esther Vexler, I believe, in 1998. Um, there's a long story behind my process of learning how to use yoga. I was exploring yoga and teaching fitness, and I was a physical therapist. Here in San Antonio, I was just doing yoga on my own in my living room for quite a few years. Um, and There was a moment when the Jewish Community Center here in San Antonio asked me to begin their yoga program there at their Northwest Military location. And I was challenged by this request. At that time, having practiced in my living room, studied from books, um, I didn't have a yoga teacher and I wasn't planning to teach anybody, but they asked me if I would start a yoga program and teach yoga. And And I said to them, I don't have a piece of paper. I haven't been certified. And I was really challenged by this request. Um, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know how to respond. It just so happened that I was invited to participate in a health fair that they were having at the JCC. And I was going to present on abdominals, strengthen your abdominals. At that same health fair, Esther Vexler was presenting. I didn't know that. I had heard of the Esther Vexler. I knew of her. I had never met her. And so I went to the health fair, did my presentation, and while I was doing my presentation, towards about the last, there was about a half hour left, I noticed that a woman walked in and tried to very discreetly sit down. And you can't help but notice Esther Vexler. It was Esther, and she walked in the door and she tried to just kind of sit and didn't make a big fuss, but you could feel her. And so she sat down, she watched, and the program ended. We answered some questions, and then everybody left, and Esther just sat there. And she's like a magnet. I completely just went, and I had to introduce myself and thank her for coming. And as soon as I said, "Hi, I'm Nydia Darby," and she says, "Hello, I'm Esther Vexler," my knees went soft, and I knew of this amazing woman, but I had never met her. So this little beautiful, magnificent spirit who is such a lifelong learner that she presented on her program. And because she was interested in learning more about the anatomy and the physiology of the abdominals and other activities, she looked at my program and said, I want to go learn. And that's why she came. We were presenting at the same time. So when her program was done, she came and took time out of her life. And when she told me who she was and why she had come, I was just overwhelmed with awe. And within about 20 minutes, I spilled my guts to her my whole life. And I said, Esther, I've been asked to start the program here, a yoga program. I had at that time done a few private instruction of what I called my yoga that I was doing, but I had not taught a group yoga class. I had taught group fitness for a very long time. And I said to Esther, I don't know what to say. I'm concerned. I don't have a piece of paper. I'm self-taught. I've been reading books and I have created this thing and she looked at me with her beautiful, kind eyes and smile and she said, Nydia, 30 years ago, how do you think that I started teaching yoga? She said to me, I too learned from books and I learned from a teacher, but I did all of this work. And there are no accidents. I'm a woman of faith, as as was Esther, and she's such a strong, strong woman. And I knew, I said, wow. And I was very grateful to God. And I thought, wow, thank you for sending this amazing woman because I needed to hear someone tell me that it was okay to do what I was doing and to start that. And she says, what are you waiting for? Get, you say yes and you teach. You need to do this. And so that's what started me teaching group yoga and sharing what I have been doing over the last however long. This story gets longer, and we didn't see each other for a few more years after that. And one day I knew that I had to see her. And so I canceled one of my classes. I'd been teaching yoga classes for a while, and I went to go visit her just to connect. Well, when I began to open up my studio, we were in communication, and I just said, Esther, I need you to teach at my studio. I want more people to know you. My experience with Esther Vexler is a long one. I give you a glimpse, but that's how we met. Her energy, her heart, her spirit, just you you could not feel it. It was just amazing. And I consider myself really fortunate to be able to call her friend. Esther is still with us. She's still with me. I look at her photo, she's always with me. And I'm blessed to have known her and her family. That's for certain. Some of the core values that Esther shared as I knew her as a teacher, as a friend, as a mentor, you know, for Esther Vexler School of Yoga, some of the things that community, create community, that I believe is so important to her. She loved people. She wanted to help people. So community outreach, I think that's so important. I think that from my experience of knowing her, that she would want us all to connect and to do outreach to individuals in the community. She was always serving. She had such a servant's heart. And so taking time out of our busy lives to give back, to serve the community, she taught as long as she could. It was amazing. So I think that's an important thing, you know, outreach. She had her ABCs. I think that if we continue that, her ABCs and awareness, breath, and centering, if I have it correct. Um, yeah, keeping those ABCs alive in the teachings as EVYS goes forward, and just loving on human beings of all different backgrounds and ethnicities and shapes and sizes. Esther just loved everyone. And she also lived in joy. What I think would have been some of Esther's wildest dreams for the Esther Vexler Yoga School. I think that she would have loved to see all of the yoga studios in San Antonio, all of the yoga teachers in the surrounding area outside of San Antonio, in the different areas and cities, communities, to see them all be united, to have her legacy demonstrate that yogic lifestyle of sharing and caring and supporting one another. I feel that we did talk about that over the years. And so I think that she would smile down from heaven, um, to watch us in our yoga communities, to support one another, and to live that yoga is for everyone. So yeah, that's what I think. And thank you, Esther. I speak to her regularly. She's still with us. So anyway, I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, Stacy, for giving me the opportunity to share this with EVYS, and I hope that you all remember that I'm here in the spirit of our dear friend and mentor and teacher, Esther Vexler. Let's connect. Um, Please reach out to me if I can be of service. And if I can do it, if you ask me, and if I can, I'll be there. In the spirit of Esther and in the spirit of the tradition that our yoga lifestyle practices are grounded in. Thank you for the opportunity.